Hi Cougar fans, we're at Penn Station for another Penn Station Conversation. Today I'm with Cougars head wrestling coach David Ray. Coach Ray, you're competing in your first season as a full member of the Southern Conference. What has that done for your guys and specifically for schedule?
I tell you, for the coaching staff, it is something neat, something to shoot for, to work for. But for the team, it's done a lot, Joe. They got something to train for all year. The season has a lot more meaning. Every match in the Southern Conference, it doesn't matter how the season goes, really, too. It's all about the Southern Conference teams, how you perform against them, and then when you do compete, how it comes to seeding for the conference tournament. And if you get in the finals and you win the tournament, you're a national qualifier, which that's the ultimate, to get to the big dance. If we get there by winning the conference, that's great. If you don't, there is other avenues to get to the Division I national tournament today, which is called RPI, and it's based on your opponent's strength and how they're ranked and everything else. And if you're in the top 33, there is a possibility they'll take two guys out of the conference at that weight class.
We're with Cougars head wrestling coach David Ray. It's the Penn Station Conversation. You know by now we're here once or twice a month to talk about Cougars athletics, and of course to remind you that this is the place for fresh cut subs, fresh cut fries, and that wonderful fresh squeezed lemonade right here at Penn Station. Coach, as you work your way through the wrestling season, and you've already kind of mentioned it, but the incentive for the guys and the chance to get to the NCAA tournament, what kind of change have you seen, if any, in the guys and in your athletes in the way they approach a meet?
Well, the intensity level of our schedule is increased, the level of competition. We've got to get our team to believe in the same philosophy as the coaching staff, that they got to put more into it at this level than what they have in the past. We're still making that transition. We're not where we need to be, but as we keep recruiting, we're getting the young men to believe in that philosophy, and the ones even on the team now, they're believing it, but it's hard to change habits. Going from one practice day to, being on the mat, being on there 2 or 3 times a day. They thought one time a day was enough, and then lifting was okay, but it's not. You need to train a lot more on your own, 3 or 4 hours.
You mentioned recruits. How has that changed? Because I have to imagine that now for recruits, especially in the St. Louis area, in the Metro East area, here's another Division I program right here in the Midwest and within your own backyard that now it's another option for these guys.
Well, Joe, it's exciting because before when we were looking at someone who was thinking about going to Central Michigan, who's ranked number 1 in the MAC right now, beat Missouri just last week. And you got a young man interested in them in northern Iowa. We had no chance before. Now we've signed a couple of guys that both those schools were after this year. So, yes, it has made a big difference because now we're recruiting young men and we can show them that, hey, you can go to the Division I National Championship through Southern Illinois University.
It's the Penn Station Conversation. We do it a couple of times during the month. We're with Cougars head wrestling coach David Ray here, visiting about Cougars wrestling and certainly about Cougars athletics. And Coach, final thing for you, how has some of the travel been within the Southern Conference? At least for you guys, you're usually getting away from the cold weather and into the warmer southern climate. Oh,
I tell you, well, we had options of other conferences. This is a great conference for us because I'm excited. We're going to Charleston, and it's supposed to be 77 degrees. Usually we're going north always in wrestling, like you said, and it's neat. I mean, it's a change, and for me, that's a good change. But I'm ready for one of those fresh squeezed lemonades right now.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
That's Cougars head wrestling coach David Ray. That's another Penn Station Conversation.